Whoa, and then this is super cool. So if you wanted to understand, like, what is it like to go into heaven, or what is it like to experience heaven? That which is in heaven are all the things dissolved in water. So like, look in your body and you go, what are all the different things that are dissolved in water? Ions, sugars, like what are the things that completely vanish in water? Like when something's dissolved in water, it's pretty crazy. Its outer electrical shell is moving in such a way that when light hits it, it just goes around it. It's like not there. Like, where is the sugar when you dissolve it? Where is the salt? Where is the proteins? And so I think what will dissolve in water, it's kind of wild, is nucleotides. Individual proteins will dissolve in water, right? So you can look at the water of your body and it's this cloud that has these building blocks of life, these proteins, these substances, and they're dissolved in the water such that you would never be able to touch them, right? Like as you move out of the way, even light just bends it out of the way, even though it's something massive like a sugar molecule. I don't know how massive of something could get that could actually dissolve into water, right? What does it take? Like when you dissolve in water, it's like it's a shimmering, or it's an activity of the outer electrons. So as something gets bigger and bigger and bigger, it probably becomes more and more difficult to like maintain that wave shimmering pattern that is required to be exactly like the water. But so you have this water, this substance, your consciousness basically has sugars, ions, everything dissolved in it. They're not there, and then occasionally they are drawn out of solution, like the proteins are drawn out of solution, or the amino acids are drawn out of solutions into these big proteins. And those big proteins are like dissolved kind of, but in a different way. They're like, things start to become more and more there. Until you get this, like this, but your body is something that was drawn out of solution. Your cell, and that cell would draw nutrients out of solution the same way that a plant draws carbon dioxide out of the air. Your cells suck sugar, proteins, even fats, right, out of solution. And that happens, this bridge, this transition between being dissolved and being solid is happening like in the kind of the holiest of holies. Right, where the cells are transcribed, where the self is copied, where the nucleotides are drawn out of invisibility into the structure of DNA. Or like in a nerve cell, you have all the charged, all the calcium, potassium ions dissolved, invisible. Something happens in which they become light. It's all very fantastical. Anyway, I don't know what this video is. It's mostly just like, if you look at the pattern of the molecules and stuff that are dissolved in water in the human body, you'll see a particular type of pantheon. Like ATP definitely is, these things, this molecular biology stuff is a map of the spiritual realm, because a lot of this molecular biology is on the border, on the cusp between being dissolved and being not dissolved, right? So at that scale, imagine if you had, something like DNA or something very big that's physical, and it has basically a hand or arms of matter that goes off and is in the process of being dissolving. Like you can have structures in the body that are half crystallized and dissolved, where like part of them is touching the invisible actually connected to you. You can be connected to a part of yourself that is dissolved. That if you want to know, like, that's where all the thoughts and all the crazy stuff that people associate with consciousness or being alive, or the body, how is the body animated? The body is animated through bridges between the material or the matter that's crystallized in the water, the stuff that's like there, and then the stuff that's like completely dissolved, in the sense that like sugar or salt dissolves. You're connected to something, not water, that is capable of being physical. You're connected to that, and it's and then so that the invisible part of the water that is like still specific, like you can have a certain amount of like salt dissolved in water and be sort of connected to that salt. Like it's like imagine two electrodes, right? Like if the electrodes are going off underwater, and the electricity is actually going out and drawing the salt to itself, or pushing the salt away, or pushing the copper or whatever. And so that bridge between dissolved and undissolved is the mind. That's the mind-body connection right there. The mind-body connection is between that stuff. So that's why you see it being facilitated by ions, things that are dissolved, things that are magnetic. Sodium, potassium, etc.